So we introduced you to someone that I follow on TikTok and he actually has a YouTube channel as well, and his name is KRAIZAY. And KRAIZAY does more of the prophetic, biblical type stuff, but what he's pointing out is a lot of music and the music industry and a lot of what they do that others would argue is art. But he's exposing the music industry in America, okay? American music industry. He is exposing the agenda, okay? About Hollywood, but mostly about the music industry.
I said by Hollywood.
Yeah, but yeah, the Hollywood thing that's totally another thing.
Well, the thing is when these musicians get into Hollywood, then they immediately change, and then they change this agenda. That's what I'm saying. It's by Hollywood.
Right. So a lot of times in his video, and I chose this one. He's actually, I don't know how many videos he's going to do to it, but I was trying to find, because I stumbled on like a part 7 or a part 6 the other day of artists you shouldn't listen to and why you shouldn't listen to them, and it's really right out in the open. So instead of arguing that this is art, this is not Picasso, this is not when they do the acting out on the stage and it's not by a script or anything. I can't.
Improv?
Yeah, it's not improv. It's not anything like that. These things are planned out, okay? And I'm not against music per se, but I am against a lot of the messages that the music industry in America, okay? In America, I'm not talking about a lot of other places, because I think that the Satanism goes really deep in America. And if you hadn't figured it out already, everybody's in on it, okay? Our leaders, our country's leaders, Hollywood, music industry, and stuff like that. There's just not a whole lot. That's why we spend a lot of our time watching YouTube. We watch genuine people who do reactions, who do games, documentaries, things like that, because I really don't want to be exposed to it. And I think it's good sometimes to go ahead and let others. It's planting the seed. To inform you. If you plant a seed, what happens when you plant a seed? It grows, okay?
And you have that curiosity to go looking yourself.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you some more KRAIZAY. And as I said, he wasn't in the industry, but he was one of those people who, like everybody else when we were young, listened to music. Now,
he followed a lot of the rap music, is what he said.
Right. Back in the day when I was growing up with music in the 80s, a lot of what I used to listen to was and you remember back in the day we had hair bands, okay? There was Duran Duran was not a hair band, okay? So I'm not even going to include them, but there was Duran Duran, Def Leppard, there was Poison, there was Cinderella, there were all these hair bands, but a lot of the stuff that I used to listen to growing up was British groups. I mean, I was a heavy favorite for Def Leppard and stuff like that. And I'll say back in the day, what was in the music industry was not right out in your face, okay? It was hidden. It was subliminal. You know, you remember back in the day when they used to talk about running the songs backwards to hear what the hidden message would be. And yeah, I remember going through all that stuff. And I'm sure I probably made some really bad choices with some of the music I listened to. And I've tried to sort of kind of get away from it. But some of the music that I did listen to a lot of time was blatantly out there with what kind of agenda they were pushing for a long time. And I can't say that I don't still like this person's music. I don't listen to it as much as I always really liked Marilyn Manson. I went and seen him in concert before she was born. Me and my husband did when we were married. We went and saw him in concert. He is out there, basically. He is a blatant Satanist, okay? He does not hide that. And the thing is he will tell you the story of how he went from wanting to be a Christian or blend in with the Christians in school, and he had said something, he was laughed at for saying it, and he sort of kind of turned on it. And that's his excuse, and to each his own. You know, I don't know about that. I think that Marilyn Manson is a very talented person, but he pushes... he points that in the wrong direction. I think he would be much more talented if he could find something more positive to sing about instead of his hate for religion and things like that. He does push a lot of negative messages, so I try not to listen to him that much anymore. I was I won't say I'm heavily into it, but I really enjoyed Rob Zombie's music and stuff like that. He is also someone, I won't say he's a Satanist, but I would say he probably is really close to it, but he does not believe in God or anything like that.
So it's an anarchist.
Yeah, and the thing is when you're young, you don't realize all the stuff that's getting fed into you from these things. So it's good to find someone who can sort of kind of point out, even though it's in your face and you can't deny it. It's good to have someone verify it, look into it yourself and see what you think. And a lot of people may not be into religion of any type, sort, whatever. But it's also good, even if you're not a believer, to sort of kind of understand what's being fed to you or fed to your children. And KRAIZAY is one of these people who tries to point that out. And like I said, Lexi likes to listen to BTS, and she does a lot of research. And there are some people out there who want to say, oh my gosh, they're sexist and they're this and they're that. And she's gone through and she's actually looked at the lyrics of the songs and things like that. Who wrote the song?
I will say that there's some things I don't like about some of BTS's music. It's the fact that RM and Suga put in Marxist messages in the songs. Mm-hmm. And I will go into that when I do my BTS analysis. And hopefully y'all don't get too pissed off with me when I'm being honest with you. But,
and it's not really that she's hating on them. It's just you have to point out stuff. And the thing is Hollywood does have a huge platform. But who has a bigger platform than Hollywood? The music industry. And so those are the platforms you have to sort of kind of watch out for.
I mean, you think about it, pushing an anti-capitalist agenda. Well, you think about it, the Holocaust happened because they weren't in a capitalist system. They had basically been at the mercy of the Nazis and Hitler himself. So they couldn't make their own decisions.
And nobody really wants to go back and live that kind of a way. And it's good to just sort of kind of, like we say, plant that seed. And when you have questions, look into those. Okay, if you're watching something or listening to something, you don't understand the message, look into it, research it, and find some answers for your questions.
And really, the fact that a lot of our people here make satanic messages, but that is this country is built on Christian values. Judeo-Christian values, and a lot of people who are against capitalism, they use the capitalist system to push their agenda of anti-capitalism, which is honestly hypocritical. So I have a lot of criticisms when it comes to Hollywood and the music industry.
Right, and I think some good stories can be told in Hollywood. But I think they're moving away from actually telling stories now, and they're putting stuff in there that's got a hidden agenda. But I think the top of the list is the music industry. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to KRAIZAY, and we're going to see who he says you might better not listen to. So this is going to be part one. He's got a whole TikTok of different types of messages. But since we're sort of kind of going to lean on music for this one, here is who he says not to listen to, part one.
I think part 1 of 7.
Yeah, well, so far there's 7, so.
1. Lady Gaga, from her songs mocking Jesus to her videos mocking Jesus, to her wearing nun outfits in her videos doing unholy things in those videos. Trust me when I tell you there is spirits behind her music, and when you listen to it, you are opening portals for those spirits to come through. Katy Perry. This is somebody who openly said that she sold her soul to the devil. All because
every one of them have.
Yeah, now I'm going to stop you right here. Stop KRAIZAY for a minute, because the thing is when Katy Perry first came into the music industry, you got to sort of kind of start low and work your way up high. She indeed was a Christian singer. Okay, she sung contemporary Christian music, but she realized that actually was not getting her to the top fast enough, and she has blatantly
it was not a crowd pleaser,
right? And so anyway, she was not getting where she wanted to fast enough. She was not getting, I guess, a big enough crowd. So she has, and I know they say this, oh, it's just a joke, and some people, we've said this before, some people say things out loud and they want it to sound like a joke when
actuality is the entire
it's
thing.
actually really the truth. So she did start out as a contemporary Christian artist. It was not as successful as she wanted it to be, and therefore she moved
because her dreams of being like Amy Grant was not working. This is not something made up. Go Google it.
Yep.
Go YouTube it.
You can Google it.
She openly said she sold her soul to the devil. Now we know you can't literally
No,
sell your soul to the devil.
and I would
However,
say don't Google it because people are like, well, I didn't see it. YouTube it. You will actually see her say it. Her lips move and say it.
Yeah, well, I think he may end up actually having it too, because he does come with receipts for the things that he says. These are not him saying this is his opinion. He's going to bring you a receipt for it.
she inside thinks that she came into a contract with the devil. With knowing that, she continues to put out these unholy songs. And trust me when I tell you, there are spirits behind her songs. And when you listen to it, you come into agreement with it. And you are opening portals for those spirits to come through. Billie Eilish. Look, read the lyrics right here.
And if you don't know, Lucifer is also the name of Satan. And Satan that was his name in heaven, was it not?
That was his angelic name.
That was his angelic name, Lucifer, and he was cast out of heaven.
And what's so funny, going off point a little bit, he was the most beautiful angel.
And he sang.
Yeah, and...
played music, that's what it was.
Yes, and the fact he wanted to be above God is called pride. He was prideful, so he was cast down because he was prideful, and then he turned into Satan because of his wrath.
And two, he managed to persuade, he's the great liar, the great deceiver, so he managed to convince some other angels of the same thing. He didn't understand why he couldn't be like God, above God. Why were they below him? And so he was cast down, and they say he fell like, what was it, lightning from the sky or fire from the sky or something? So...
And the thing is, people like to say, well, angels are pretty and demons are not. Well, the thing is angels became demons when they agreed with Lucifer against God. So, demons are ugly, but that basically means that angels can be physically unappealing as well. But the thing is, they know that people would be afraid of them if they didn't look human, so they make themselves look more humane, so they're not as feared.
Or more human-like.
Well, the thing is, that's why I say human. But the thing is I've heard before, I can't remember where I had seen it from, but somebody said an angel spoke and said, if you were to actually hear our true voices and see our true forms, you'd be terrified.
Would be terrified.
So, you think about it, demon forms are terrifying. There you go. Angels turning into demons. It's the same thing.
I think that's the God that we follow too. Okay, so anyway, a lot of them are being really blatant with what they're showing, and we're not, like I say, we're not pushing our opinions or our religion on you. We just want to plant that seed where you can start questioning things just a little bit.
We're trying to tell you what you're allowing yourselves and your kids to listen to and how it's negatively affecting you.
And to be aware what your kids listen to as well. There is some positive music out there. You just really got to look for it, and you need to understand what the message is behind the music. Look at the lyrics. Also look at what the actual artist sort of kind of portrays. They all do music videos, and I know you remember back in the day, back in the 80s, I remember the first music video for MTV. I loved MTV, and there were like the little movies with their songs and stuff. I loved it. I used to wait all day long just where I could see Duran Duran. Okay, so I was crazy that way. But anyway, so this is obviously a little something from Billie Eilish.
My Lucifer is lonely. If that doesn't say enough, this whole video is demonic. It got people in the fire dancing. This video actually started with her in the sky with white wings. Then she fell down into a dark black pit. Came out of that pit looking like this with black wings. This video talks about her Lucifer being lonely. I mean, you can't get much darker than that. This young lady has all kind of young ladies loving her. She's a magnet for the youth. So they blow her up tremendously. And
let me stop him right there. So just to quickly show you what these people look like before and after, and he does this a lot of times too, just have a look of what Billie Eilish looked like before she started getting into the music industry. And let me I gotta make this a little bit bigger, y'all. And there's just some other things right there that you will see exactly how these people change, and they look so sweet and innocent, and then they don't look that way no more. But that was just a,
She's
that's just a
passed
little
certain
bit.
line and have come into agreement with certain situations and things where she's getting blown up because she's going into that wicked narrative. She's come into agreement with the wicked agenda of the elites. Trust me when I tell you, this young lady has spirits behind her music, and when you listen to it, you're coming into agreement with it, and you are portals, and those spirits are coming through. Let's end it with Travis Scott. We all seen what happened at Astroworld. Listen to me. You can go back to different videos.
And also, I don't remember the number of people who died at Astroworld. It was like, was it 5 or 7, maybe? I believe it was.
8 people.
So during Travis Scott's performance at Astroworld, 8 people got killed.
8 people died, and then 2 more died in the hospital over the fall windows.
So, and the show didn't stop, and you know, sometimes
and hundreds were injured.
Right, you can't actually see what's going on sometimes, but I have seen other concerts going on, and when something happened, people stopped the concert. Actually, people on the stage performance stopped to make sure these people were okay. So good on that. But the whole show that Travis Scott did was just like one big satanic ritual. I mean, the whole thing was, if you go back and just look for pictures of Astroworld and Travis Scott's stage, and I believe we may have even showed that in one of our last videos, but there's no good in him at all.
His concert, Astroworld, you can see dark spirits jumping through the crowd.
You could.
You even have some people saying that the crowd felt like hell. It felt like it was a show from hell. Listen to me. That whole thing was no accident. That whole show was dark. His music is dark. When you listen to things like that, you come into agreement with what's on his music, which is darkness. And you wonder why you got anxiety all of a sudden, or got depression all of a sudden, or you got sleep paralysis. Because you continue to come into agreement with this dark music. Trust me when I tell you there's spirits behind his music, and the more you listen to it, you are coming into agreement with artists you need to stop listening to, part 2. Lil Uzi Vert. Listen, even if you say this man's name over and over again
You see that upside down
fast,
cross, right?
Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, this is blatantly against it, and I think I've even saw a picture of him before and after as well. There's a huge, stark difference. But listen to what KRAIZAY says about his name. I'm going to go back just a little bit because he was starting to say it. So listen to what he says about Lil Uzi. Just listen.
His name over and over again fast. Lil Uzi Vert, Lucifer, 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 Lucifer. Y'all think it's some kind of coincidence.
So he's
Lucifer.
Lucifer, but it was Little Uzi Ver.
Yeah, and but you say it fast, then it turns
exactly. I mean, but I said, what was his actual name? Lil Uzi Ver, okay. So I just want to make, because I don't listen to rap music. The only rap music, and you probably can't say it was rap music. The only thing I used to listen to back in the 80s was like Vanilla Ice. Okay,
well, I don't listen to it either. But the thing is these people make such a fool of themselves that you just have to know them over the news.
Lil Uzi Vert. Listen,
okay.
Even if you say this man's name over and over again fast, Lil Uzi Vert, Lucifer, 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 Lucifer. Y'all think it's some kind of coincidence? No, the spirits that be attached to these people are
It's not a coincidence.
Now, one thing about some of these people, they just bold.
Yep.
You got people really at their concerts with upside down crosses in the backdrops. Rocking upside down cross.
And he's supposed to be a rapper, so let me ask you something. What part of rap music, and I know a lot of times it's said that rap music is, stories based on places they grew up, the experiences they had, family, loss, and things like that. So why would a rapper be showing all of this anti-Christian stuff if he's just, rapping about maybe his life or his loss or his love for someone? They don't go together.
Next. Now this is just symbolically anti-Christ. Some of y'all say, well, the upside down cross, it doesn't mean too much. Okay, well, let's go to the cross crossed out. What is there to say about this one? This, my friend, is just blatant disrespect.
No, bad religion.
We know that
Bad
in the Word of
religion.
God, it tells us to pick up our cross and die daily. So we know the
I'm
cross
not
for
a bad
us is
religion. We're
symbolic.
very loving.
So when you do things like
And very
this,
accepting.
you're just blatantly trying to disrespect. This man has a whole song called Demon High. And if you watch this video, it's all kind of demonic symbols on lockers and all kind of just trash. They really be on stage with these ups.
I continue to say it. If any of you want me to look at a certain artist and a certain music video of that artist, please put it in the comment section or email us when we put it in the description below, because I need to start looking into some of these people's music videos and performances.
And see, these are a lot of people that she and I don't listen to. I've never heard of some of these people. And there's a lot of artists out there. There's a lot of rappers out there. And you can't possibly go over every single solitary thing, especially if we haven't heard of it. So if you know of an artist, it doesn't have to be a rapper, but if you know of an artist or something like that and you're curious about it, drop the artist's name and let Lexi look into it. She can look for videos, she can look at the lyrics of songs, things like that, maybe messages behind some of the songs that they're trying to relay, if it's some kind of a life experience or whatever, and we could look into it and see if it is basically pushing this agenda of basically Satan. And another side point, and I've heard this before, but we haven't said it to you guys since we have only done KRAIZAY one other time. The thing is, and you can just say this to yourself, okay? Just think this to yourself, and then we're going to go on with KRAIZAY. When you see any group of people, persons, countries, or anything like that, if they are ever against a religion, that one religion that they're always against is Christianity. Music, movies, whatever. Government. When they go after a religion or a group of people,
it's always Christian.
It's always Christian. So you have to ask yourself, well, you know, Christians do this and Christians do that, but the common denominator is they all go after Christianity. They all go after Jesus. They all go after God in the Trinity, things like that. They never go after Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, anything like that. It doesn't matter if you go and you blatantly say something about another religion, they will absolutely be attacked, because you should have the freedom of religion. And in our country, we do have freedom of religion. So ask yourself.
But the thing is, if you actually look at statistics on Google, you actually see that the most persecuted religion in the world is Christianity, and that the population for Christianity is depleting very quickly across all countries, because they're being persecuted, they're being murdered, they're being hunted. So why is it always Christianity? You know, because they make the biggest fuss about Christianity's awful, you know, it's the worst religion in the world, but yet they spend all their life targeting it.
But why would a group of people with all the religions in the world, and we're not knocking everybody else's religion, this is just our beliefs, why would everybody go after just Christianity? You don't see anybody else going after the Hindus, the Muslims, the Buddhists, the Scientologists. Nobody goes after any other religion.
And I really love the fact that most atheists I knew personally when I went to school, they all targeted Christianity. They didn't target any of the other ones, even though they believed in certain gods.
Right. So the point is if you have that many people attacking one religion, you have to ask yourself why. And it's not because anything Christians do. There are some what I call them browbeaters, Bible thumpers, and they do make a lot of other Christians look bad. And there's people who say they're Christians and they don't act Christian-like. But if people keep attacking one religion, you have to ask yourself why. And it really is because it's the one true religion. It's the one that is actually true. It's there's no falsity to it. So the rappers obviously are going after. You'll never find a song or anything going against any other religion. Always pay attention. They always, anybody and everybody that is against religion, they always talk about organized religion and Christianity. And let me tell you, there ain't a Christian country out there, you can't find one, where that country says you have got to be Christian or we're going to kill you. Okay? We got a lot of countries out there that say you're going to be Muslim, you're going to convert, or we're going to kill you. Okay? China, you can't do anything like that. In China, they're against it. Russia, they're against it. All the Muslim countries, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, all of these push a religion, and they say you've got to do this.
They force a religion.
It is. So Christianity don't force themselves. They try to spread what we call the good news, and that is that Jesus was born, died on a cross, rose 3 days to save people from their sins. So that you'll find people like this who are just trying to point out the evils that don't look evil, but now they're all starting to look evil, okay, because they really are. And back when in the 80s, a lot of people were against like heavy metal and stuff like that because they felt like those were the ones that were pushing Satanism. Now you've got a lot of rappers, and even I call them pop. I don't know what people call it, but like, Katy Perry,
hip-hop.
Yeah, hip-hop, Beyonce, people like that. Those are the ones that typically, because they have a bigger platform, and rap has a really huge platform. But it ain't just rappers, okay? But anyway, we're going to let him talk about Lucifer here.
In the back. And you got to ask yourself, they only disrespect Christians. They only disrespect Yeshua, Jesus.
Yeshua.
They only disrespect Christ. Why is that?
Exactly.
Because believe it or not, the spiritual realm and the demonic kingdom know what truth is. So the spirits that are connected to them, the spirits that are working through them, know who truth is. Mm-hmm. They know who Jesus is. They don't care about disrespecting other religions.
No, because they're not true.
Anything outside of Christ is deception. Anything outside of Christ is nothing more than a disguise that looks good, but on the inside is evil. And the enemy knows that, which is why Jesus is only mocked.
And he said it way better than I did. We went into a long spiel and song and dance, but I did. But he basically put it right out there. Why is it so attacked? Because it is the one true religion, and these demons and entities know what the truth is, and that's why it's always attacked. It always will be attacked. It's always been the most, what'd you say it was? Persecuted religion since the beginning of time.
Even when it first came to be, it was immediately persecuted, and they were hunted.
Exactly. So, and that always has been. You think about, you go back and you read and see even old movies, if it's talking about back in like Nero and Egypt and stuff like that. They used to, when they had their gladiator stuff, when they had games and all in the Colosseums, they would gather up all the Christians and they would feed them to the lions and the bears and stuff and let people watch and cheer to it in the gladiator domes and stuff. I mean, this is well known. Why does everyone persecute Christians? Why does everyone shut them down? Because it is the true religion. Hey, and like I say, we're not pushing it. Just look it up. Just look it up and see who is the most persecuted of all religions in the world, and you will come to your answer. And when you come to your answer, ask yourself, why?
Think the devil cares about mocking other religions? You think the devil cares about mocking atheism? The devil doesn't care about anything outside of Christ, because all that is headed towards damnation anyway. This is why I tell you, seek the Lord. Seek Jesus Christ. There is only freedom in the Lord, Yeshua HaMashiach. Now watch this.
You motherfuckers enter the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all motherfuckers going to hell. Right with me. So, let's get it. Oh, you already here. I'm so sorry. You can't get out. You're stuck. It's over. You heard the song a million times and you didn't even know.
You heard the song a million times and you didn't even know that you're stuck. Mm-hmm. You didn't even know that you were coming into agreement with darkness. You didn't even know that you were coming into agreement with the kingdom of darkness. When you purposely listen to people like this and absorb people like this, you are coming into agreement with it, and your portals are open, and spirits that are on them are beginning to go through those portals and get on you.
And that's the thing, too. If you think about the teenagers, and as a teenager, I used to listen to, and she's always listened to a lot of music, but she's always been very, very choosy about the music she listened to. She didn't ever like rap or heavy metal.
Because they gave me really disgusting vibes, so I never really listened to them.
But she never listened to anything like that. But most teenagers listen to me. They always got their buds in. They're always listening to some music. They're all vibing, rocking out, trying to chillax, mellow out a little bit, do their homework, whatever, maybe before they go to bed. But the thing is if you look at the teenagers are the most depressed. That is like the stage where you're the most depressed. There's anxiety. They have the suicides. God, what else is it? They're angry. Gosh, they're angry. And we got grown adults who are angry, okay? But there's that span of time when they talk about, and I thought when she became a teenager, I'm like, she's been a good kid so far, and when she's getting in her teenage years, I'm really worried about her being one of these angry, belligerent teenagers. And she wasn't like that. And I think that the fact that she didn't listen to negative music and things like that, and she listened to some people. God, who all did you even listen to?
I usually listened to pop, contemporary, Christian, classical, or even country music. But I'll say I didn't like. It took me a while to get into hip hop. It took me maybe like 7th or 8th grade to get used to it. But I liked the Taylor Swift old songs and Katy Perry's old songs. I didn't like their new ones because their new ones felt really bad.
Yeah, and she maybe never could figure out why, but if something didn't feel right, she just move on from it. It made me feel
negative. I used to listen to Linkin Park. Some of the songs I didn't like because they encouraged suicide, so I didn't really listen to those songs. And some were very angry. I listened to Skillet. TobyMac. I listened to his. God bless him. He lost his son, and he's been attacked ever since. Look what your God did to your son. That's honestly just horrifying.
It really is, and it's not a God thing. Okay, these are human choices, people choices, and God does give us free will to make our choices in life.
And I think I didn't really listen to Beyonce, but I did listen to Destiny's Child. I did like a couple of their songs.
Right, and I think that was really sort of kind of back more in my day as well. And before Beyonce got all mixed up with Jay-Z, she used to be, I guess, maybe a more positive person, but since she's gotten with Jay-Z obviously is more into the evil stuff. He does rub shoulders with a well-known witch that is in Hollywood. I don't remember her name, and I'm sure that eventually we'll run across on one of KRAIZAY's videos that points this out. But he's coming to the end of this one. This was part 2. Let's see what part 3 says.
Artists to stop listening to, part 3. An all-time favorite, ladies and gentlemen, Beyonce herself. Many don't know what this young lady's into.
This outfit, this attire here, almost looks like she's trying to look Payman, the Demon King.
That's a possibility. I almost feel like she's trying to look more like, because here, let me show this circle, the headdress, but the circle and all. When you look at a lot of the paintings and depictions, this headdress right here, and I think we even seen the same headdress on Madonna for, was it Rolling Stone? She did that really, really blasphemous photo shoot about the Last Supper. A lot of pictures of Jesus are depicted with a glow around his head because he is holy. Okay? This is supposed to be a glow like Jesus. And I'll show you some pictures later about that. I know you're talking about. You do know what I'm talking about? Okay. That is what that depicts. That is what Madonna, I think, was even doing. And even one of the pictures of Jesus, on the cover, it had that heart. There is a picture of Jesus that was painted like that. So it's all against the Christian religion. It's all against Jesus.
But I can tell you it is not Yahweh. Y'all think Beyonce be out here just doing things that is artistic, not even realizing she's summoning spirits. Summoning spirits she believed to be her ancestors. But in all actuality, it is all demonic. There's one right here named Oshun. And we know that Beyonce had a certain stage where things just happened to change. Well, it was her Oshun stage. She was in water in that Lemonade video. Then she opened this door and the water came out. It was like giving birth. It was a ritual. Being born again. We know that darkness imitates God. So she thinks Oshun is one of her ancestors. Whose motherland?
Exhale, doubt, negative. Father, Mother, God, we thank you for everyone's
Father, Mother, God. Motherland and Mother God must be somewhere connected. Beyonce also has a poem on her Lemonade album. And right here, you'll see it says, and plug my menses with pages from the holy book. Meaning she's talking about using the Bible as a tampon. For all y'all saying y'all walking with the Lord, I hope you hearing this right now. She has a song called Church Girls, where she talks about church girls acting loose, putting mixture in the church. If you are somebody in the church and you're not strong in your faith and you like Beyonce and you see things like this, you're going to think it's okay. She's leading many astray. That's why people like me speak up. That's why people like me bring you truth. And now that you hear this truth, you put yourself in judgment. Beyonce has a whole church in Northern California that worships her. Called Beyonce Mass. And she has yet to come out and rebuke these people. Look at their shirts. Won't she do it? We know the saying, won't he do it, talking about God. Now they have on shirts that says, won't she do it, talking about Beyonce. Beyonce married a man that said in his song, Empire State of Mind, Jesus can't save you, life starts when the church ends. He also said in his song, Family Feud, I told my wife the spiritual stuff really work. So what spiritual stuff is he talking about? He's talking about summoning ancestors. That's the same man doing weird stuff like this with Marina Abramovic.
She's the witch I was telling about.
In front of him. Guys, this woman is putting hidden messages in her videos and in her songs. And if you listen to them, you are opening portals and you are inviting those spirits that are on her in you. Artists to stop listening to, part 4. Billie Eilish. Let's just start by saying Billie Eilish has a lot of young fans. So you're going to be surprised at some of the things I show you. Billie Eilish has a video called All the Good Girls Go to Hell. No exaggeration. That is the title of the song. All the good girls go to hell. Boy, oh boy. And in this music video, she starts off having white wings. And the wings are like a type of feather. After a while, she falls down to earth into this black tar and her wings that were once white become black. Now she has black wings. But you know what I noticed? They're no longer feathers. They're like bat wings. Boy, this symbolic stuff gets deep. She's also surrounded by fire, and there's also human beings dancing in the fire. So she had white wings, then she fell to earth, and she had black wings. Where does that story sound familiar? In the Bible, Luke 10:18, it says, I saw Satan fall to earth.
It was
like lightning from heaven. Coincidence? I think not.
Nope.
Now, why don't I think it's a coincidence, you might ask? Because the lyrics in the song is literally talking about Lucifer. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. Start asking yourself, what have you been listening to? What have you been repeating and singing? What have you been coming into agreement with? The song says, my Lucifer is lonely. Let's jump to the second verse, though. Go to the great parts. Walking in, wearing fetters, Peter should know better. Who is Peter? Sounding pretty biblical to me. Your cover-up is caving in. Man is such a fool. Why are we saving him? Who's the savior of the world? Jesus Christ. Now this is where it gets deep. Who's talking here? Of God, Christ is living within us. So if she's saying her Lucifer is lonely, is she talking about something inside of her? And if she is, then what's inside of her is talking right here. Asking God, why are we saving man? Boy, y'all not ready for this truth. Y'all think this type of stuff is just art? Y'all think this type of stuff is just somebody being artistic?
Look at
this buffoonery.
A bad guy.
Like I stated before, this is somebody who has many children fans. And I told y'all, they blow up people like this for a reason. Now, what's the reason? Just like Lil Nas X came out of nowhere and had millions of children fans, then all of a sudden he switched. And all his music has some kind of wicked agenda in it.
Yep.
Same thing goes for Billie Eilish. It's because they want to manipulate and brainwash the youth.
The children.
The youth is the future. If they can capture the minds of the youth, if they can capture the minds of the children, they can control the future.
And that's why we say, definitely, if you have kids and they do listen to music, just be mindful of what they do listen to. Be mindful of who these people are. Look into them. Look into the lyrics of the songs. Look into some of their music videos and stuff. Just make yourself aware of what's going on. Because if you police what your children sees on TV, you also should police their music as well.
You should stop listening to part 5. She's talking about Playboy Cardi set. Now let's try to make this fast. It's a lot in here. There's been a slow, dark manifestation going on through Playboy Cardi's career, which is the reason he went from this to this. Different people at that same concert heard how he was sounding possessed, heard screeching like it was dark pits of hell, heard demons screaming. They're all pretty much talking about possession. Some of Playboy's lyrics, I'm on demon time, I'm out my body. And yeah, it's safe to say this man is on a demon time.
And that is scary looking, y'all.
How much can you say
He's
that?
possessed.
Well,
if anybody is gifted like me, you can see a demonic face behind his face. He's possessed.
Yeah, like I say, I'm going to have to do a whole series. I'm probably going to start on TikTok about her. And when she says some of the stuff she says, sometimes it can, or anybody that speaks like she does, can sound really far-fetched. But the thing is there's some people who can see truth behind people, and if they've already been taken over by something else, and she is one of those. And if you look at him, let's see if I can back up just a little bit. That don't look friendly, y'all. Okay, and I know it's makeup, and I know he's got a grill in his teeth and all that stuff.
His eyes look evil.
Yeah, she's not actually looking at the look. She's looking here. She can see the actual color of the eye.
The irises.
The soul. The eyes are the windows to the soul. She can see things like that, and we were actually put in contact with other people who can do that, and there are other people out there who can. So if you can see something and you don't understand what you're seeing, like if you see somebody's eyes and they look yellow, is it yellow, red?
Yeah, yellow, orange, and red.
Yellow, orange, and red. You have the gift too, and the eye colors to steer clear of were
red, orange, and yellow. But the thing is, it's mostly orange.
Right. But anyway, there are people who are born with gifts like that, and so if you happen to be watching and you can look at someone and see a different color, and it's not a color anybody else can see, only you can see it. If it's yellow, orange, or red.
Yeah, red is people who are very wrathful, who have anger management issues. Orange is conniving and manipulative, while yellow are basically abusers behind closed doors.
And that's usually some type of a spiritual something, right? They've been overtaken by, because she says a lot of times she can actually see a demon behind a face.
Sometimes it's demon behind the face, and sometimes it's an attachment to their shoulder.
So, and when it's a good thing, because she can see these things, and I've seen some of this stuff. She's drawn some of the things that she's actually seen, and there's some really bad things out there, and they are after your soul. So, but anyway, how do you go from looking one way to looking like this? Okay, he's doing his best to absolutely look the part that he's playing, and with the influences that these people in the music industry have, it's really sad, because they are leading people down a really, really bad path.
Yeah, he has like a reptilian.
How much can we say that?
On his face.
Well, here this man sits in a pentagram, a circled pentagram with candles. Where else do we know that from? We know it from the satanic symbol. Oh, hey.
Back. Looks like somebody squatting right there in his shadow. Like animalistic.
I do see it. You don't think it's the shadow from behind? Because there is some, with the light, looks like it's over here.
You know that demons can hide in the shadows of a person.
Oh, yeah, because he does have the shadow here. And I mean, here's a head way up here, it looks like. Am I looking at that correctly?
Yeah, it's in a squatted position, like animalistic squatting position. Like, if any of you have seen the Trilogy of Terror, the first one, when she was possessed by the little
tiki doll
warrior, she does at the very end of the movie, she's about to, I guess, kill her
mother that was on the way.
Her mother on the way, and she's in this animalistic position and stabbing a big knife in the floor. That's exactly what it looks like. It's squatted.
Interesting. Right here. Okay. Let's move forward.
Here this man sits in a pentagram, a circled pentagram with candles. Where else do we know that from? We know it from the satanic symbol.
I hope he realizes the white candles are going to do
it's
anything.
even right here, right next to the Baphomet. So is this man on demon time? Probably more in the open on demon time than anyone I know. This man got Satan tattooed on the back of his neck. No more it's art. I'm done with the it's art nonsense. Listen to me closely.
And really what I'm looking at, that is really bizarre to me that I can see this other, I don't know if he had another tattoo there or what, but there's like some either bruising
it's
or
tainting the skin.
It's something, but it does look like it's coming from here because look, it comes here, it branches off here.
And by the way, I'll probably put a link in the description under this video. You need to look actually at the positions of where tattoos are placed on a person's body. There's actually some significance if you were to put a tattoo on the back of your neck or your back or your ribs or your wrist or your right wrist. I'll have to put that in the description because it's kind of fascinating the messages these artists are putting out there for their tattoos. Especially with their placement.
Yeah, she looks into things because she actually does have a tattoo of protection on her that has, what is it? Some of the 23rd Psalm in it.
A 23rd Psalm.
Yeah. So,
in Latin.
And yeah, it's in Latin. Regarding walking through the valley of shadow of death and not fearing evil. So, but yeah, you can see it Satan. And like I say, I don't know if he has another tattoo or if this is causing some kind of rashy look and stuff. I don't know. It's just a still pic, so I don't know. But let's continue.
For all y'all who want to comment in my comments defending this trash, you are putting yourself in judgment. Do you know how many people have been following this man, listening to his music, opening their portals for the spirits that are on him to come on them, have been listening and following this man, then passed away, and now they're in a place that they don't want to be? Do you know? These people are just puppets. They're puppets for higher demonic agendas. And this video might just get banned for the truth that's in it, so I advise you to share it and save it. This is not art. This man walks around with an upside-down cross on his neck, upside-down crosses on his website, a tattooed crossed-out cross on his chest. He performs with an upside-down cross behind him. Listen to me. Why do you think they're always mocking Christ?
And look, the smoke. And you know, a lot of concerts that I've been to, like years ago and stuff, they like to use the smoke machines and the lighting behind it, so it's all red. And
a lot of the ones that do the Satanist performances typically have red, because red is a significant color for Satan. And wrath.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
When it's something about Satan, when it's something demonic, they're always mocking Jesus Christ. Why do you think that is? I continue to tell you because the spiritual realm knows what the truth is.
They do.
They don't mock other religions. They don't mock atheists because none of that is the truth. The only thing that the truth is Jesus Christ, who said he is the way, the truth, and the life. And clearly, by the tactics and actions by the kingdom of darkness, we see that to be true. They don't mock nothing else. They don't pervert anything else. They only pervert the Holy Scriptures. They only pervert Jesus Christ. That should show.
So if anyone has questions, now the thing is I understand asking Christians and somewhat, you know, you want a answer from somebody who is part of the religion. Maybe you're looking into it. Maybe you're seeing this in a Christian's perspective. Instead of asking a Christian human being, a person asks here, are we allowed to ask God or Jesus for a sign? Are we allowed to ask for more than one? I remember a Christian friend telling me it was bad to ask for. Now that's actually false, because God is the only one that knows the correct answers, and just ask him. He will tell you.
Music artists you should stop listening to, part 6. Jay-Z, ladies and gentlemen. And this is about to get super real. So I advise you to save this right now, just in case it gets banned. Let's just start off with Jay-Z's Lucifer 9 interlude.
Murder, murder, Jesus.
When you reverse that, it says murder, murder, Jesus, 666. Now we get more of an idea on why he said Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends on his song Empire State of Mind with Alicia Keys. Jay-Z also said in his song Family Feud, I told my wife the spiritual stuff really work. So if Jay-Z's talking about spiritual things and he's saying that Jesus can't save you, what spiritual stuff is he talking about? Well, he seems to be pretty fond of Marina Abramovic, and we know that she's pretty popular for spirit cooking. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Your mind is going to be blown.
Yep.
You could just tell by different pictures what kind of stuff she's on. So you ask yourself, why is Jay-Z with her, and why does he look so happy?
Absolutely.
Or we can go to the fact that Jay-Z's always throwing up this sign, and people just follow him doing it, not even realizing what they're doing.
Yeah, they think it's hip and cool because everybody in America does it now.
Similar to that. Oh, Freemason sign. A Freemason sign with the all-seeing eye in the middle. Now, what's similar to that? The actual Freemason sign. Now, what's similar to that? The satanic sign. And what does the satanic sign say? The satanic sign says, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. Now you can kind of understand why the whole world can be going wicked, but they can be saying they're doing it out of love. Yeah. They'll be saying love is love. Anyways, it says, do what thou wilt. What is that?
And just because somebody attaches a catchy title to it or something that sounds like it's really, really good, question. Okay? Question.
Come from? Have you heard of Aleister Crowley, ladies and gentlemen? Do what thou wilt. Oh, you think I'm just reaching? You think Jay-Z's not a part of this in some kind of way? Well, you please tell me what is on Jay-Z's sweater right here. Do what thou wilt. You know who also...
And you know, I want to say this too, and I've said this for years because some of these rappers, I don't really understand how they get so big, because there are some talented rappers out there, just from the little bit that I've heard. There are some talented ones out there, but there's some that's out there that are really, really popular, and I can't figure out why. And since I've started stumbling on that they're getting into these agreements and stuff with Illuminati, Satanism, and things like that. Contracts. It makes more sense to me now, because there's a lot of people out there that I don't think are very, very talented. But that's just my opinion. And it makes more sense to me now.
And some people in the comment section are wanting these videos to be longer and have more information involved. He does say that his YouTube has the longer videos. Like I said, I'll put his YouTube in the description so you can go.
You can go and look at it and research it and maybe answer some of your own questions and stuff. Definitely.
Once you're notified of this, you're going to start seeing it everywhere now.
Yeah, when somebody opens your eyes to stuff, it does sort of kind of, it's like that seed, like I said, being planted. You plant a seed and it starts to grow, whatever you planted. So you'll start to become a little more aware of what might be going on.
Now, like I said, I don't think a lot of other countries are involved. I think they do these symbols and say these things because they sound cool.
They see the West.
Because they see the West, they think it's cool. Well, the thing is they almost need to be notified of this, so keep spreading the word, y'all.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is the West. We are the West. When you start talking about, you know, Japan, China, the UK, stuff like that, we are always referred to as the West. So, just dropping that in there.
Throws up the rock sign. Anton LaVey. Who is Anton LaVey, you might ask? Anton LaVey is the starter of the Satanic Church. And here you have him throwing up the exact same sign Jay-Z throws up. Here you have him doing it again. So it's no accident.
No.
You know who else was throwing that up? Hitler, my friends. Hitler was throwing that same exact sign up. Am I still reaching, or are you starting to grab onto this? I told y'all we're going deep. Now keep up. Here goes Jay-Z in a Mason lounge. And here goes a sign for the Order of the Eastern Star, which is Masonic.
See, now, I think it's interesting how, you know, people like to say that the pentagram is evil, but the thing is, if you see where it's upside down, it actually means it's evil. When you see it's upside down.
Right.
Because the actual meaning of the pentagram are the 5 elements that make up our world, which is earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, or the heavens, as it would be called. Why do you think they put the heavens at the bottom? This is the heavens. The heavens is the top. You got fire, water, earth, air, spirit. So they'd speaking to Satan down there and not actually God himself. So the pentagram is not actually the bad part, is when you reverse it, just like you would reverse the cross.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if none of you really knew that, I've informed you.
Now, what's similar to this sign? The satanic sign. Once again, the satanic symbol is very similar. I'm not one to believe in coincidences, people. Don't be blind to what's right in front of your face. Now check this out. The Baphomet and what's on top of his head. Do what thou wilt. Now I showed y'all him giving the all-seeing eye already. This is one of his clothing lines. And when you go up top, what do you see? The all-seeing eye. Jay-Z has a song called Izzo, where he's saying H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy. We know that he called himself Hove, but in this song, he's calling himself Hova.
Hova.
Where do we know that name?
Jehovah.
God, ladies and gentlemen. Jehovah. God. We know recently Jay-Z did a song with DJ Khaled called God Did. Well, there's a part in his lyrics where he says, these ain't songs, these is hymns, cause I'm him. You're who? Jay, you're who? It's the Psalm 151, this New Testament, the book of Hove. Are y'all not paying it? Y'all think lyrics is just art? Y'all think that it means nothing. No, when you're saying this man's lyrics, you don't even realize that you're coming into a place of worship. You're worshiping Jay-Z when you're reciting his lyrics. Y'all think he dumb? Y'all think he don't know what he doing? Boy, y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up.
A lot of these live concerts and performances by rappers look like literal Satanic rituals. It's really crazy.
The water
rituals,
to wine
exactly.
for Hov, it just took a stove. Jay-Z thinks he's Jehovah. This is why you need to come out of the place of listening to him, because when you're listening to him, you're reciting him and you're worshiping him.
Well, no, it's not that he doesn't think that he's God. He's trying to lead people as he's a false prophet. Yep. So he's leading people to him away from God. More the merrier. That's just that's what's in him.
Or
his mind.
Not leading away from God, but maybe leading people maybe who don't know which way they want to go and they haven't made a decision. So he's definitely leading them in the wrong direction for sure.
Every other way is away from God. That's my point.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I took it almost as believers or Christians. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. But definitely.
And when you're listening to him and worshiping him, you're opening portals for the spirits that are on him to come onto you. Why do you think people put him on such a pedestal? Calling him the GOAT. Oh, he's the
Why
GOAT
is it when they suddenly join the Illuminati and Satanism, they shoot up in popularity?
Come out of that place, my brothers and sisters, and come into truth, come into light. Music artists to stop listening to, part 7.
Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X. This is a big one. In case you don't know who Lil Nas X is, he was the artist that came out with the song Old Town Road. I'm gonna take mine to the Old Town Road.
Everybody loved
something
it.
Like that. This song got humongous.
Not 7.
To the point where even Billy Ray Cyrus jumped on the record. Heck, the song
And Miley
even
Cyrus
won Song of the Year.
Miley Cyrus is Billy Ray Cyrus's daughter.
You know
she's
who
very
loved
negative.
The record
And the other one
most?
is too, actually.
Children.
Yep.
Millions and millions.
That's interesting.
And millions.
Now look,
of
his
kids
cross is actually right
loved
side up at this
record.
point.
That was
Millions
before
of
he.
kids
That's what I'm
loved Lil
saying.
Nas X for making the record. Now look how this works. He now has the attention of millions of children, right? Now what does he do? He switches it up and takes the demonic route. Did I not tell y'all the hidden agenda? Did I not tell y'all the agenda of grabbing the youth? Did I not tell y'all if they can get the mind of the youth, they can control the future? It's all a wicked agenda. Lil Nas X is a puppet. He's doing what he's doing because of money. He's doing what he's doing because of fame. I know somebody personally who knew a drummer for Lil Nas X, and the drummer says Lil Nas X doesn't even want to do half of the things he does. So you had a man capturing
That's part of
millions
his
of
contract.
youths just to completely turn around and slide a pole from heaven to hell, where he's down there playing and dancing with the devil as if it's a game in hell, where he has wings and horns. Y'all might look at this like it's nothing, but kids' minds absorb things. Kids are innocent and pure. And when they look up to somebody, a lot of times they don't realize that the person is doing something crazy. Lil Nas X also came out with the Satan shoe.
He did.
Where
And
it
it
has the
actually had
verse
human
Luke
blood.
10:18, where it talks about Satan falling like lightning. And in the back of the shoe, it says 666. I mean, I really don't know how blatant you could get. He
Yep.
also has the pentagram on top of the shoe. Not only
Actually,
that,
it's
but he
not
has
a
a
pentagram, it's a
contact in his
pentacle.
eye to make it look like he's a serpent.
Pentacles are
A
not
lot of
good.
people will really still look at this and be in denial. They'll say, oh, that doesn't make it an actual Satan shoe. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. My friends, the shoe is called Satan shoes. Mm-hmm. When you open the box, you got a demonic thing
right there.
And it's like that in the shoe.
Yep. It's time to come out of the place of delusion, my friends. This man had a whole children book. Mm-hmm. They want to get the kids. They want to get the minds of the youth to control the future. And when I say them, I'm not talking about Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X is nothing but a puppet. There's people pulling those strings. But look at how much they do just so that happens. Mm-hmm. They blew this man up just to twist him around, just to bring him into a wicked agenda for kids to follow.
Yep.
They put him on People's Magazine with a pregnant stomach. You even had Miley Cyrus trying to defend his Satan shoes by wearing them and taking pictures with them. But
didn't we decide there was only 666 pairs made?
There was only 666 pairs made intentionally by Lil Nas X.
Exactly.
I know Miley Cyrus is a complete attention seeker.
Yeah, she is.
She wants nothing more than attention to be on her. Mm-hmm. She wants nothing more than the spotlight on her. She'll do anything to make people say,
and if you
Miley's
think
crazy.
about it, ever since her song Wrecking Ball, she has been this way.
She has. And what was really so bad is when Lexi was young, I thought Hannah Montana, her little show, was the cutest show. And Lexi liked Hannah Montana. And she had the best music, little girly music, and then she sort of kind of bumped it up, like you say, to Wrecking Ball and stuff like that. She has totally done a 360 and has went off the rails.
Yeah, with the Wrecking Ball, she had shaved her head and she was half naked dancing on a Wrecking Ball like it was a stripping pole. Mm-hmm. And I knew from that point on I was not going to listen to her anymore.
Exactly. And they get the kids first, and then they change.
Get out of here with that buffoonery. This man has a video where he's portraying that he's in the Garden of Eden, and the serpent is right there. It's symbolic, people. God's word feeds you and fills you with his revelation. God's word imparts God's DNA in you. Now, when you're listening to stuff like this, you are receiving a different word. So you are receiving a different DNA, which is the serpent's DNA. And when you come into agreement with it, you are being filled with it. When you come into agreement with it by listening and singing the words, you are opening your portals from your eyes and your ears. You are opening your portals for demonic spirits that are on them to come into you.
It actually kind of occurred to me a little while ago when I continue to hear this from Isaiah. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Mm-hmm. All three of those are conjoined. If you see it and hear it, you speak it. So that just means it just spreads that much more. Mm-hmm.
And you remember I've always liked the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil stuff. I don't know why I've always liked those because I have 3 pigs. Okay, I like pigs. And
it's an obsession.
Yeah, and they are the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil pigs.
But that's conjoined with all of this.
Exactly, because the more you see and hear, it just becomes part of you, and I guess you just spread it by speaking it.
You start to sing it, you start to speak it, and then it just pushes that much more. If you actually make friends on a daily basis, and you start singing that stuff around them, they're like, "What's that song?" You're spreading it.
And that's the other thing too is goodness don't rub off on people as easily as badness does. Mm-hmm. So,
unfortunately,
delete it all. If it's not of God, delete it all. Y'all don't realize by listening to these people, you are inviting things into your temple. Then you end up with depression. You end up suicidal. You end up with anxiety. Music artists to stop listening to.
We think this is the last one. He may come out with
Ladies
more.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lady Gaga.
Which
Let's just start off with her song,
before.
Judas. We all know that Judas in the Bible is the one that betrayed Jesus. Mm-hmm. We all know that Judas went to hell. But let's see how Lady Gaga feels about Judas. These are the lyrics to her song, Judas. When he calls to me, I am ready. I'll wash his feet with my hair if he needs. We know about the woman who washed Jesus' feet with her hair.
With her hair
so
in the Bible.
Already we realize she's substituting Jesus for Judas. Forgive him when his tongue lies through his brain. Even after 3 times he betrays me. We all know that Peter denied Jesus 3 times. You go down a little bit, it says, I'm just a holy fool. Oh, baby, it's so cruel, but I'm still in love with Judas. Even when you watch the video, there's a man on there with a crown of thorns. It's just super symbolic. Yet you guys sing her songs because it's catchy. You sing along to the lyrics because it's catchy, not even realizing what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Here goes Lady Gaga with Marina Abramovic. I showed y'all this woman already. If you don't know who she is, Google her name and see what kind of things she does, and your mind is going to be blown.
I'll put a link of that in the
description. Here she is with Marina Abramovic with a person in some kind of red liquid. And she's tasting that liquid. Now, what do you think that stuff is symbolic for?
Exactly.
I told y'all about Marina and how she does the spirit cooking thing. If you don't know what that is, look it up.
Look it up.
Oh, and real quick, just to go back to the Judas thing. When I was saying she's substituting Judas for Jesus, in case you thought I was lying, this is the cover for that song. It says Judas with a cross. Now back to Gaga and Marina Abramovic. Here they are seen doing a little hunt.
Now, I remember seeing this in some other videos, but what he's fixing to say about this gentleman here blew my mind. I had not heard it. Let him tell it.
Game. Some little rich nonsense that these elites do. Here you see a model named Ryan Singleton. Sources say his body was later found. Don't take my word for it. Search it. Why doesn't the media blow these kind of things up? You tell me. Is the media corrupt? You tell me. Why would wicked elites expose wicked puppets? Y'all ever notice when Lady Gaga first came out, she'd wear this lightning sign over her eye? A couple different times she would wear that lightning sign over her eye. Oh, y'all just thought it was art, huh? Nah, this is symbolic for the all-seeing eye. And we know the all-seeing eye is symbolic for Lucifer. Here you have it with a serpent. But here's what's interesting about Lady Gaga. Because a lot of people will just show you one eye, the all-seeing eye. But she took it a step further and put a thunderbolt on her eye. Now we know as Christians in the Bible it says in Luke 10:18, he replied, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Oh, I'm just reaching, huh?
Yeah.
All of these are just super coincidences, huh? Y'all gotta get out of that place of worship. Because you've been so engrafted with their music that you don't even realize you've been veiled to see the truth. So when somebody like me comes along and brings it to you, exposes it, you feel like you want to guard the person. You feel like you want to defend the person.
I just want to stop that real quick. And she's also, and I've heard this since way back in the 80s when people, because people used to do this at rock concerts, heavy metal concerts, especially for like Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Judas Priest, things like that. And these are it's devil horns, okay? If you look at it sideways, these are the horns.
It looks like a head.
And it looks like a head. So it's called, devil horns. So when people do that, it's not I love you, because this is I love you.
Yeah, this is I love you.
This is I love you. This is devil horns. So we used to see back in the 80s when you'd go to a heavy metal concert, and I didn't go to many heavy metal concerts and when I was young. I did it more in my adults. You always seen the crowd, like in music videos or lives.
Huh? I wouldn't have known.
She's never been to a concert. I've got to get her not to a heavy metal concert. I've been wanting to take her to a BTS concert, but
tickets are outrageous.
They're outrageous, but also we don't feel like they will be like reconvening as a group. We could be totally wrong after the military service, but
I would more than gladly see some of their solos if they continue doing that kind of industry.
Exactly. But I've been wanting. There's a thing that happens. I don't know if they're still doing it. I'll have to look into it. But I've been wanting to take her to. There's a thing they do at Winans every year, and it's like a Christian fest, and they bring a lot of contemporary Christian musicians because they have like a little amphitheater in there. And if you live in the South, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, you've probably heard of Winans. I've been always wanting to take her to one of those, and I just can't never catch it. And since I'm the only one working now, I don't really have the money to actually do that.
And Winans is an amusement park.
Winans is an amusement park, like Six Flags and things like that. They have roller coasters and rides, food. Things like that, but they also have an amphitheater, and I don't even know if I think it's still there, a lot of contemporary Christians come in there for like this certain week, and I'm really wanting to take her to maybe there or somewhere else. Well, she's never been to a concert, y'all, so
you start getting angry inside a little bit. And that's only
I see MTV Award because I see the little Moon Man right there.
Now the spirits that were on them have come onto you. And those spirits are feeling a certain type of way because I'm exposing them right now. Y'all think things like this in television shows are by accident? No, they know exactly what they doing. Y'all think this is art? This is actually on the VMA stage. Why does Lady Gaga love nun outfits so much? To the point where she put one on with upside down crosses on it. Also in the middle photo, she's eating a rosary. Also in the top left photo, do you know what she's acting out right here? These are supposed to be three men that have no clothes on. Am I still reaching?
And that's the thing, too, is you can always find these people who sing more positive music. Even if it's not a Christian person, you can find people out there that do have positive messages about loving yourself, loving other people, kindness. At least it's not stuff like, they're going out shooting and taking drugs. And
now, a lot of the Christians like to say that the songs that promote self-love, saying that it's selfish and demonic. No, that's not true, because before you can love other people, you have to love yourself first. And then you'd be able to open your heart to others, and that's just on a selfless plane. It's not selfish at all, actually.
Exactly. No, it's not. And sometimes we find it hard to love ourselves, and that makes it hard to also love other people. So do try to look for more positive music, even if it's not contemporary Christian or Christian music at all. But they've sort of kind of, I don't know if streamline is the right word for it, but Christian music has evolved, and I think some of it is really good at meeting certain age groups. They even have some that are heavier. Because like Skillet, they sing heavier contemporary Christian music. You have rappers, TobyMac, who sings contemporary Christian music. So there's different kinds out there, and have excellent messages. And
there's contemporary music for every type of music style. If you're more into country music, or if you're more into rock music, there's something out there for you.
There really is, and it's great to be able to listen to something and that it's not
poisoning your
mind and poisoning your soul and poisoning just your aura in your brain and all that stuff. But we hope that what we're doing when we do some of these videos, and like I say, there's some more out there, not just KRAIZAY, but there's some other people out there that are pointing out some of the same things that he's pointing out. It's really interesting to watch and to see and to listen to, and it makes you, it's like he says, it pulls the veil away from you. It opens your eyes and you look at things a little differently.
If you don't believe that there's more people out there like him, just watch him several times on TikTok, and that'll become part of your algorithm. You'll see more
it will, and you'll start seeing more people that are like him, that are saying, hey, this is what you're watching, this is what you're looking at, this is what you're this is poisoning your life, and maybe possibly poisoning your kids and stuff. But we do want to make sure that we bring light to stuff like that, because music is very influential, and I think it is sort of it
is basically a universal language,
right? And I think though too, it was interesting when it was basically pointed out that when Lucifer was cast out of heaven, that he had sort of been the angel for music. So how else is he going to get to people? Through music. And it doesn't mean you can't listen to music, you just gotta be really, really
that's the easiest way to invade people's minds, because people are looking for things in government or on the news that can influence them. But the thing is, they don't realize that it's right in front of them by the music they listen to.
The biggest influencer out there is music, is the music industry. So you just be mindful of what you listen to, or maybe what your kids listen to. There's some really, really crazies out there that were even crazy before I ever found out about subliminal messages, and then before the music industry just blatantly came out and started doing stuff out in the open. Because you know what, it would be more accepted now in this day and age, since we're accepting a lot of these other really weird ideas about things. Hey, let's just go ahead and be satanic out here. People aren't going to care, because this is America, and it is a free country for now. But anyway, if you haven't done it already, please subscribe, share our videos with friends and family. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and don't forget that thumbs up at the end. All comments are welcome, and if there's anything you want to have us look into, symbolisms, if you want us to try to react to something, we're going to get back into doing our movies and our games. But until then, we wish you peace and blessings. Have a good day.